Hey, pop stars, welcome to this week's episode of the Popcorn Wind Down. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
Thank you for joining us. This week's episode is sponsored by the Naked Sly. Shout out to Naked Sly and the team. If you know, you know. Naked Sly is a real thing. It
I'm,
is a
I'm
real thing.
sorry.
I'm not trying to be, huh?
Did you say naked slide?
Yeah, Naked Sly. It is a real thing, and yeah, not that I'm advocating for seeing Sylvester Stallone naked or anything. That's the last thing I want.
Okay.
But so Tammy, speaking of Sylvester Stallone fully clothed, do you have a favorite Sylvester Stallone movie or series or role? Are you even a Sylvester Stallone fan?
Not necessarily, but I have watched his biggest roles. So I've seen Rambo, I've seen Rocky, of course. I've watched every single Rocky. Not a fan of the later ones as much of the early ones. But to be honest, probably you know which okay, and it's not even one of his biggest roles, but I actually really enjoyed it. It's the one where he was in prison. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
What is that? Oh my god, I'm so mad. Like, what is it called? Sorry, now I gotta look it up because I really, really enjoyed it. And Escape Plan.
Yeah, that was a good
It's
one.
yeah, Escape Plan number one because from what I'm seeing, there's multiples. I really, really enjoyed Escape Plan. The first Escape Plan, I really liked that one. He was great in that role. Of course, I can always say like Rocky, he was really, really good in Rocky. I could also say for Rambo, I only watched the later Rambos. I didn't watch the first couple ones. I've only ever seen clips. Um, but yeah, like those were actually good. Like I enjoyed it. Um, he's not like my favorite action star, but I get the love of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Just going back through his list, he does have a list. Okay. So I, of course, love, Rocky, like you said, the younger ones, but, and I really love one of my favorite movies, and it's like one of my guilty pleasure movies is Tango and Cash with him and Kurt Russell. It is one of those classic bad, so bad, corny action movies. Typical late 80s, early 90s. I forgot how I discovered it, but it's one of my favorites. I can still just go back and watch it. I think it was one of Terry Hatcher's first roles or something, but I don't know. And I also like, so that's probably one of my favorites. Escape Plan was a good one. Rambo, the earlier Rambos were really good. But here lately, like the resurgence of his career, I am going to tell anybody, if you have Paramount or Paramount Plus, whatever it's called, you've got to check out Tulsa King. It is so good. And at first, when it first came out, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I saw it's gangster like things, and he gets sent to Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places. But it is so good. And I kind of slept on it because I'm like, it's Sylvester Stallone. You see the trailer and you're like, okay, it's not going to be that good. So good. Again, that is Tulsa King from on Paramount. But yeah, um, you know, but so that's my Sylvester Stallone recommendation. And I really hope it gets a second season with the writer strike and all of that kind of stuff. I think it was supposed to, so I hope that they continue on with with Hollywood, with the Hollywood strike. I'm just gonna call it the Hollywood strike. The writer strike is over, thankfully. Hopefully, the actor strike will follow suit and end soon if the producers, whatever studios, can get their stuff together and do the right thing. Anyway, so this week, Tammy, we find out what it means to be expendable as we join the team on a new mission with new members in tow. On this mission, the team finds themselves facing off against a formidable foe, Rama. I'm probably going to mess up his name, forgive me. Iko Uwais, I think. From the Wu Assassins. I was so excited to see him. Anyway,
When I saw him, I was just like, "Oh, Eddie's gonna love this."
an independent contractor who works for the bad guys. His current boss happens to be Barney, played by Sylvester Stallone's arch nemesis, and the one who got away, Ocelot. So, Tammy, what did you think of Expendables? Was this latest installment truly necessary, or was it something we could have done without?
I will say it wasn't truly necessary. We could have done without it. Um, but I like mindless action flicks sometimes. Like sometimes we need mindless action flicks. And that's what Expendables is. And for me, that's what Expendables has always been. It's always been mindless action. Like I'm not going for the script. I'm not going sometimes I may not even be going for the full action. I'm going for the names, okay? And to just enjoy blowing some shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's what Expendables has always provided to its audience. And it's really exciting to see like what big name are they gonna get this time, right? Or who's not gonna show back up, like who's not gonna be in the newest one. They can't make it back or for whatever reason, whatever like that. Because I love the concept of how the Expendables franchise started, where you have like all these action stars and they're coming in, and then it's kind of like they're making fun of themselves for like everything, all the stereotypes and the rumors that had been swirling around them and everything like that. So I will say that I enjoyed it enough. I laughed a little bit, and it gave me exactly what I expected it to give me. If that makes any sense, like I always say. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm with you. The first couple, and then I'm not going to do a big comparison because I know you didn't, and I know I didn't go back and watch the first three.
At all.
So, but what I will say is that the first ones took me by surprise. They were better than I thought they were going to be, because when you first see it, you're like, okay, the washed up action heroes. Let's be honest. When we first saw that first experience, Stallone, Schwarzenegger. I think Lundgren was in the first one too. Like you were like, okay, wash up action hero series. Like who wants to watch this? But then you watch it and it's like it took you by surprise. Like it was really good, right? And so again, as we hear the sequel, we're in the era of the sequel. The continual sequel. It's like okay, and you know why I went to see this one, the same reason why I go see anyone. The one that got me was my boy, Jason, my man, Jason Statham. Like, I'm a huge Statham fan. So I was there for Statham. Like, and I will tell anybody that that was the reason I was there. And he was Statham esque. So I'm with you. It was mindless action. You at this point, you know what you're getting, and sometimes, like you say, you just need to be able to go decompress and just watch something that's full of nonsense.
Mhm.
Um, so having said that, I'm with you. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was mid. It was the middest of the mid to me. It was okay. It was like, yeah, all right. I love Statham. I think there are some points where it could have been better, and it took itself. I know it doesn't take itself seriously, but there's some parts where it could have been just a little bit more serious. Like, was 50 Cent really necessary? That was so unserious to me. Like, did he strike a deal like, hey, 50, we want to use your song Pimp or PIMP, and then he's like, well, if you want to use my song, I got to be in the movie. Like the best 50 Cent part was the part where they used his song. Like, what was his
He
purpose?
wasn't even in it.
And I'm not a 50 Cent fan. I'm really not. Curtis has done and said a lot of shit that has just turned me off over the last few years, right? So I'm not. I can admit that, and I knew going in that he was going to be in the movie, and it was. And when I saw him in the trailer, I was like, this is probably the first time you'll ever hear me say it's okay if the black man dies.
Damn. Oh shit.
Like that's just how big of a fan I am not. But I realized, okay, he's a star, probably in his contract that he can't die. Um, so I was prepared for him to be in the movie. I was okay with that. But having said that, I'm like, this is it. Like, really, once I saw his role and what he did in the movie, I'm like, yeah, this was he probably said that in order for them to use his song, he had to be in the movie because his role was like useless. Like, so it could have been an email, like, not even necessary.
Damn.
So, um, but yeah, I hated this character and I just didn't know what it was. But I did love seeing Megan Fox and I love seeing her play I love seeing her own her sexiness, if I can say that, if that makes any sense. Because if you followed her in her career, one of the things that she's always had a problem with is how they exploited her good looks and her sexiness, but made her always come across as kind of like the bimbo or the
Mm-hmm.
dummy and just played on her looks. I love seeing her own her sexiness and her attractiveness, but being kick ass about it. Does that make sense?
No, no, no. I fully agree with you.
And I think we talked about it once before when we were talking about the Transformers or something. Even in the first Transformers, she was really smart. She had like this engineering type brain, like she was good with cars and had all this stuff, but all of that kind of got overshadowed in the first two because I think she was in the first two, right?
Yeah.
It got overshadowed by her attractiveness and her looks. And I'm not expecting you to play it down because she is a very pretty woman and she's very attractive and she's very sexy, but the way that they always made her make that be the center of just who she was. And I love that in this role, she owned that. Like she was smart. She could lead a team. She could kick ass. She was going toe to toe with Jason Statham and some of the biggest names in action, and she was holding her own, and I absolutely fucking love that. So I love seeing her in that type of role. What about you?
I did too, and I'll kind of piggyback off of what you said about her in the Transformers because I also remember the first Transformers. She was the smart one in the relationship, like she had it on lock, and then it was downplayed to just show her sexiness, and I chalked that up to what was the guy name who was in charge of
Michael
it?
Bay.
Yeah, I chalk it up to Michael Bay, right? Like literally downplaying her to just her body and her beauty. And rather than playing it up that she was sexy, she was smart at the same time because women can do that. Like that's something that we can do.
We can do
And
both. We can be all
yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah. We can be both. We could be many things at once, right? We know how to multitask. And so I really love that as well because I do think that in the second movie, it was downplayed where she was just the side piece, kind of in a way, rather than playing on the fact of like she was still so smart because she didn't get to go to college, but she was, sorry, this transfer thing. Let me focus on Expendables. But like I do enjoy it. I love seeing her as well. I think that um she was definitely typecast and it annoyed the hell out of her that she was typecast, and so she kind of stepped away because every role, and she said this before, every role that was being offered to her was always more given to her because of her looks and her body than because of her acting ability, which means that she was never truly able to really hone in on her craft of being an actress because people would just focus on her face. Like you need somebody sexy, get Megan Fox, rather than maybe thinking like, hey, can she actually act? Can she really do the role? And so it was really nice to see her going toe to toe and actually kicking ass as well. Like her and Jason Statham, like kicking ass, like full on kicking ass. Um, and he knew. And then I even loved at the end when like he like shows up and she's just like, what took you so long? like you did you really think I didn't know that you gave me your knife because you were tracking me? Like, come on now. Like it took you long enough to get here. I'm thinking you should have been here earlier. And I was just
Thank
like,
you. Like
smart woman.
yeah, like I'm surprised you didn't beat us here,
You
but yeah, so I love that. I also loved Levy Tran, who was her from MacGyver. Um, did you watch the reboot of MacGyver?
No.
Oh, okay. She also on MacGyver. She played a kick-ass role too, and so I
Wait.
love.
Yes. Who was
Yes,
she again?
on MacGyver.
No, in the movie.
Oh, she was the blonde. She was Megan's. She was the assistant. Like I could at first, I'm like, who is that? Who is that? And then I'm like,
I
I
did
know
not
her.
recognize her.
You know how I recognized her? Her tattoos on MacGyver were real. So the big rose across her chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I recognized her. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's her. And I love that for her. Like, I love seeing women, and I've talked about it, and I will never quit talking about it. I love seeing women in kick ass action roles. And and I love it when women really get to kick ass. And and she played a kick ass. She had a kick ass role in MacGyver. Excuse me, I keep she had an awesome role in MacGyver, and she got to come in and extend that in the Expendable. So I love seeing two women come in and just hold their own as tough. They weren't the damsel in distress. They weren't there just as arm candy or to prop anybody up, and I love that for them. So that was one of my favorite things about the movie. Um, you know, the one thing and the only thing is, I wish we would have had more with them. I wish we could have seen more of them. And I get that it's the Expendables, but like I alluded to before, even when Gina was put in charge of the team, she still wasn't put in charge. And we realized at the point, once you quote unquote figure out who the big bad is, you kind of figure out that he put her in charge so she would fail, not thinking, underestimating her as a woman. But
Hmm.
on a side note, I would love to see them have their own. I don't need another Expendables movie. I'm just going to put that out there right now. But on a side note, if they wanted to continue the series with them, giving them a limited TV show, Gina and her crew, and having Gina come along with her own female crew, I would be there for that. I would so be all in for that.
What
Um,
What do you think about like? Now, granted, I know it's gonna irk people's soul, and we're gonna get all the sexist and misogynistic like statements and everything like that. But I thought by now there would have been a like basically like a female version of the Expendables. On like now, I think like would they be able to get the women who would bring people to the screen, to the movie theater? But I was thinking like who would be in a female version of the Expendables? Like I'm thinking
um,
Gina Davis is top notch. No, Gina, is it Gina Davis?
Gina Carano, before she blew up her career, I think would have been perfect.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking like who would be like the Sylvester Stallone? You ever seen A Long Kiss Goodnight?
Yes, Gina
Uh,
Davis would be a great.
yeah.
Gosh, who could do that? I think, and that's the thing. I think any woman can do action if you give her the role. Like, and
Hmm.
that's so sad that when you think of an action movie and you go man and you think about male leads, you could always come up with a ton of men. Like even DiCaprio could do an action movie if he wanted to, and they would still try to put him in an action movie even though he doesn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like we use male actors like they're so interchangeable, but we don't do that for women, and we don't really have a big female action star. Like I'm thinking, gosh,
Well, at
Brie
one point it was Angelina Jolie was killing it,
in
and then
action
she took
movies.
yeah, and then she took time off to to raise her family and everything like that. So but Charlize Theron, I think of like Charlize Theron. I think of Gina Davis. Oh, actually, my two for the Jason Statham and Sylvester Stallone roles was Gina Davis and Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
That's who automatically came to my mind on them two coming together. Or even like, to be honest, like, yo, if they could get Meryl Streep up on this life,
Yeah, she could play
like, no,
like
she would kick some ass, okay?
um gosh, I just had a name come to mind and it totally um the lady, the chick, I can't, the chick, the woman who plays Captain Marvel.
Brie
She's pretty.
Larson.
Brie Larson. Yeah, I was like Brie, but I couldn't think of her last name. She's pretty good in action roles too. Like, and that's the thing. It's like I'm with you. I love the movie like 357, and I'm like, it should have done so much better. And if it was men, it may have not. I think it probably came out the wrong time.
It did.
I know it got pushed back a lot because of the pandemic, but and so they take movies like that for us, for women, and they'll measure it up again. Oh well, this one movie did not do great, so we can't ever do this again with all women, and that pisses me off so much. But
But they
yeah.
constantly do that. But I think that it's just a thought process. Hollywood, if you listening, because Eddie always says that. Hollywood, if you're listening, look, I'm ready. I think we're ready. We're ready for this. Like, give us the female version. Like the dudes, they done. Like, it's good. It's a wrap. We've enjoyed the ride. But I need a female version. Like, and I need some real, like, I need people who can carry that movie. Like, I want my big names. The same way y'all got y'all big names for this, I want my big names for like I want oh my god, the black oh my god, oh shoot. Greer. Pam Greer. She alive still?
Yeah.
Okay. I want my Pam Greer. Okay. I want all of that. Okay. I'm thinking about it. But anyway, sorry. Back to the movie.
Yeah. So I mean, and but that's just what I was thinking. I was like, just I would love to see them carry on the torch of the Expendables. Even if you use the same actresses, a limited TV series or something on a streamer, it would be great because we can do that. We can be all things, and I think it would be more interesting than giving me another Expendables. As much as I love Jason Statham, um, so I also liked, believe it or not, one of my other favorite characters was the dude Galan, the dude who talked too much about way too much about extremely inappropriate things.
You mean Antonio Banderas' son?
Yes, that's who that was.
No, that's not his real son, but he played
Oh,
his son.
so yeah, okay. Yes, he was so, and he was cute, but I'm like, dude, it was either the combination of sex and death, and somehow he married the two together, and he would talk about, and I'm like, you're making dead people have what? And I was just like, and then they were like, when he went quiet when Barney died, and they were like, he hasn't spoken since Barney died. I missed him. And then when all of a sudden he was like, the hyoid, that's the only muscle that isn't connected to the rest of the body, and without it, you can't talk. And then he just started talking, and then he ended up on some, and he goes, that's what I'm gonna do to the people who killed Barney, ripped off their, and I'm like, and they were like, I liked it better when he wasn't talking.
Yeah. Be like, dude, you're going too far. It's too much. It's too much.
Too much. Like, and I'm like, that was it. It was either death, sex, or he found some weird macabre way to kind of mix them both together. And I was just like, I like him. I don't know what that says about me, but I like him.
Eddie, we've already known though. We've already known, okay?
So, but yeah, and now that you mentioned that the character is Antonio Banderas' son, I was like, they did a good job in matching them up, because when you said that, I'm like, that's his real son, and he was attractive, so I was like, okay, I get it. But yeah, I did actually.
Yo, I'm sorry. I apologize for thinking that, right? But like as we're talking, I'm kind of like looking at like who is this dude and everything like that we're talking about. Do you know he plays Will Smith's son on Bad Boys for Life?
That's who that was.
That's who that was, Eddie.
I couldn't. I was like, he looks familiar, because girl, no wonder I liked him, because he was sexy in Bad Boys for
He
Life.
sure was. He sure was.
Okay, that's who that is. All right. But yeah, I did like the character. I was like, okay, like, see, he served a purpose. No matter what you can say, even the dude with the messed up ear, with wrestler's ear, he served a purpose. But I'm like, can you tell me what 50 Cent's purpose was?
He was. No, I can't. He was
I
to
know.
play the black dude because Terry Crews wasn't in it this time, so we got to have a black dude.
Well,
50 Cent
no,
replaced Terry Crews.
you didn't have to do that. You really didn't. They, I'm all for diversity and everything, but it wasn't required. It really wasn't.
I mean, I'm not saying that I liked it. I'm just saying, like, what is his purpose to be the black dude? That was his
Yeah.
purpose, to be the
It,
black dude. He served no other purpose than they had to have a black dude, and he failed the quota. 50 Cent was the quota.
like we know Sylvester Stallone is not racist. He's always been one to film, to put
No,
women and
no, no.
people of color in
It
his movies.
nothing to do.
So
It's just literally.
yeah, so I get it. This is the one time you did not have to fill that quota, man. You did not have to check the box. That's what I'm saying. It's like you've earned enough goodwill, Slide, that we would have let you slide on this one, okay? Like,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
What did you think? Like, I it was obvious Barney wasn't dead, right? Did you not know?
Okay, so what I will say about that is I didn't think about it enough to like care whether he was dead or not. So like because I went to the movies with my sister. My sister's a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, huge, right? And she loves the Expendables. She didn't even know that the Expendables new movie had come out until I told her. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go see Expendables. You coming?" And she was like, "Wait, there's a new one?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was just like, "Well, of course I'm coming." So anyway, the whole entire time we're in the theater, she's not as bad as me. Like she doesn't talk. The only reason why she talks in the theater is because I talk. And so she was just like, "He's not dead." Like the whole entire movie, she kept saying, "He's not dead. He's not dead." And I was just like, "But look at his burnt hand." And she was just like, "I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this." Halfway through the movie, my sister turns to me and be like, "Yo, I think it's that other dude." And I was just like, "Okay." And at the end, she was proven right. She was like, "I told you. I told you." She was like, "I knew Barney wasn't dead. There was
Yeah,
no way."
like because the whole ring thing seemed so random, right? And the more you kept thinking about it, it was like when he took Jason Statham's character to the bar to get his ring back, and then you see Jumbo Shrimp, and he's like, "Wait a minute." You see all the big bouncers come out, and each one is bigger than the last, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, that's the dude you let beat you in thumb wrestling to take your ring? Like, really?" And he's like, "I was drunk." There's no way you were that drunk, right? And so I was just like, okay. And I said, he made him go with him to get the ring. Because even if he were drunk enough to lose and Homeboy got lucky, in the sober light of day, we both know he could have wiped the floor with him with his thumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, it served a greater purpose. Like he had, in order for there to be no question, because that was literally the last thing y'all did before y'all went on this mission, and you know, to get this ring. And so I was like, he's not dead. And then the only thing I thought about was, to me, and this is where the part of me that was like, okay, this was the middest of the mid. I'm like, it would have been more compelling if he wasn't dead and he actually turned out to be Ocelot. Um, but yeah, it was. And so when I was like, okay, there's no way that he's going to make that happen. So then I'm like, who's Ocelot? And I'm like, Andy Garcia. So I figured everything out pretty easily. And it,
Now
it,
I
it
knew
was,
that Andy Garcia was the bad guy. Like
yeah.
it feel like they were just checking off boxes when it came to like the story.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, like I was just like, oh, okay, Barney's dead. Let's move on. Next thing, like Jason Statham is not the leader. Oh, nope, he's not the leader. His girl is the leader. Ooh, she stole it from him. Sadness. And then I was just watching the movie. Like, but my sister.
I love the way you did that. Like, okay, like you had your own checklist.
Yeah. And I was just like, but then I just started watching it. My sister was the one like really thinking it out because she was like, there's no way, there's no way. And so I just let her do the deep thoughts. And I was just like, I'm watching the movie. I'm just watching it to watch it. Like Expendables, yay, kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I was just like, okay. And then so we've talked about before cartoon villains, and of course, this is not a movie where you expect to just have you're not looking for the Bond villain, right? The Bond-esque villain.
Of course
But
not.
even Andy Garcia in this, I was like, okay, this is too cartoonish. Like, there is no reason. And then I'm like, and I wasn't invested enough to go back and see if Ocelot, what role he may have played in the other movies, you know. So I'm like, again, for people who are just now coming in to watch this, I think if he was in the other movies, they didn't do a good job of like filling in the blanks. Like, really, besides chaos, what was your goal?
The same goal that every Expendables movie has ever had. There has never been, I said it from the beginning. What did I say? I was just like, this is just literally mindless action. That's it. The script is not supposed to be deep at all.
I wasn't
I
looking
think,
for deep. I was just wanting the answer to. I was wanting a clear cut answer to a simple question. Like I said, I wasn't expecting Bond level villain deep. I just wanted to know ultimately what was your end game, like the chaos. Like, did the CIA piss you off? Was it money? Like, just
oh,
the
you mean for him turning into a bad guy?
yeah, like
He been one for a while though.
I know, but like, what was, and that's the thing. I'm like, can you just refresh us on the goal? Was it money? Was it chaos? Like, were you going to get something? Like, okay, we got that he was trying to get the U.S. and Russia to go to war. I get that. But dude, could you have said that you was going to get some money from them going to war? I mean, just answer the question. Like I said, I'm with you. I'm not expecting deep. I wasn't expecting Oscar-worthy script or anything like that. I just I was at least expecting a minimal answer to some of my questions though. Just a basic answer.
They said
But
no. They
no,
said no
yeah.
answers for you.
No answers. Like y'all made me suffer through 50 Cent. You couldn't answer a basic question.
And they didn't kill him off.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
He lived to the end.
Oh gosh. I was like, ah. So, but yeah. So even I'm stealing from you. I think, even his turn as a villain, and Andy Garcia is a good actor, a great actor. And we've seen him play some bad guys. And I
Like
get,
Ocean's 13.
yeah. Like, and this, even at this point, I'm like, okay, is he phoning it in? Like, is it supposed to be this horribly cartoonish?
Yes.
So and I was like, I get it. I know what I'm watching, but and then at one point I'm like, I feel like I'm Tammy.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, Eddie.
I was like, and it's like, and I know what I'm going to see. Like I was expecting bad, but I was expecting like good bad, like kind of like mid-level bad. I wasn't expecting just like y'all wasted money on this. Like, and I was like, I love Statham, and I have no bad words for Statham because Statham's my dude. Like, he gets me into the movie season. He did great, and there were parts that I loved that were passable, and then there were just things that were like, what worked worked, what didn't really didn't. If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. So, yeah. What about you? Did you have anything like something that worked versus? And I love Rama. I thought he was a good villain. I thought he was good. So let me go back. I think we could have maybe done without actually being introduced to Ocelot and had Ramat be the villain because you get it. They answered the question. He was working for someone else. He was a mercenary, but he was just like the Expendables, except instead of working for the good guys, he worked for the bad guys. So you knew what his ultimate goal was. Like the dude killed a kid, shot him in the head in front of his dad after he promised not to. So you knew what you were getting with that. So I thought he was great as the villain. I think adding Ocelot or introducing us to Ocelot just kind of turned it into something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I was once again, while I said it was great for the mindless action that it was. Like it wasn't top notch. I wouldn't tell anybody to go watch it. I wouldn't go tell anybody to watch it, but it's not like I walked out the theater and was just like, oh my God, like I just wasted all of my time. Like I didn't get that feeling because I knew what I was getting going in. And so because I knew what I was getting going in, I didn't have the feeling like I wasted my time, because I knew exactly what that movie was going to be about. I knew the feelings I was going to get from it, what I was going to enjoy, what was going to be stupid and silly. And so having that mindset going in allowed me to enjoy it in a way that I think like somebody who is going in for like a real like action flick, like Die Hard level, would be very, very disappointed in.
Yeah, if you're going in trying to take the Expendable serious or thinking that you're going to just get great action, no,
Save your time and money.
say yeah, save your time and money. It is definitely not that movie. Um, yeah, so that was the thing, but I think it was like you said. This was as we've come to say, this was the fill in the blank, check the formula movie. You know, I don't know if it really did the rest of the series any justice. Like, if you were going to make another one, you could have made it a little bit better, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But it had potential to be decent, and so yeah. Um, you got anything else? You got another favorite character, favorite scene, favorite anything, something you didn't like, something?
Not at all. I think you summed it up with your 50 Cent hate.
Yeah, look. Only reason I saw this is because I definitely love Statham a hell of a lot more than I just like 50 Cent.
Damn.
But yeah, if Statham wasn't in it, it would have been a hard pass for that alone. All right. So what are you rating this?
I'm gonna rate Expendables 4 at a 2.5. Um, like I said, it checked all the boxes. I knew what I was, getting into when I walked into the theater, when I purchased the ticket. I knew what I was getting. It gave me exactly what I expected it to give me, but that doesn't make it a great movie. That doesn't make it phenomenal. And that doesn't make it something that I would suggest that other people go watch, which is, I guess, a reflection of how much it cost to make the movie and then how much the movie actually made opening weekend, because it was abysmal. So yeah, it's gonna be a 2.5. Like, look, I bumped into somebody, I spilled half of my bucket of popcorn, and I just knew that I probably wasn't gonna make it straight through. So I was okay with that. So that's how much popcorn I had, and I didn't even go back to get it filled back up. What about you, Eddie? What you gonna rate it?
Great minds think alike, except I went a little bit higher than you did.
Ooh,
I gave it a
okay.
3, and you know where that other half a star comes. You
That's
know
only
where that?
Jason Statham right there.
Yeah, that's the Statham effect. Okay, that other point 0.5 comes from Statham alone. That is the Statham effect. All right. Definitely the Statham effect. Because I was like, I'm with you. I was like, yeah, yeah. It was, and I'm again, I can't 50 Cent hate alone because, like you said, going into it, I had the mindset that he was going to be in the movie. I knew it. I knew he probably wouldn't die, but I expected him to at least be more than just there. And I was like, and literally when they played the song, I was like, oh, so that's it. And I'm like, did he really make them put him in the movie just to use his song? Which, if you know anything about 50, it wouldn't surprise you if that turned out to be the truth.
It wouldn't.
Um, so aside from that, I knew that he was going to be in it. I just wasn't and I thought I knew what to expect. I just wasn't expecting it to be this, this bad, this whatever, and it was a waste of money. And I say that to say it will probably go in the collection because I have the other three Expendables, and you know how I am about completing collections. That's part of my. I'm not OCD about a lot, but what I am particular about, I am very particular about. So it will go in the collection, but it just probably will be there just to say I completed the collection, but it won't get watched unless someone just wants to, unless someone just happens to say, this was my favorite movie or my favorite of all four, and I'm like, oh God, that tells me a lot about you. I don't know if we can hang out anymore. But you know, you know, did your sister at least like it? I guess.
Um, you know how like I talk a lot when I go to the theaters?
Yeah.
My sister's movie quirk is that she sits there and she guesses the whole movie. And then
Oh wow.
once yeah, and then once she guesses exactly what's going to happen in the movie, then she lets you know everything that she guessed. So me and her both have our quirk. So I think that she kind of had the same mindset as me. You shut your brain off and it's just mindless action. Would she ever go see it again? No. Would she ever suggest it to anybody? No. So the same thought process that I had is the same that she did, but there's a level of boredom to it because she guessed the whole movie at least halfway through. She already knew how the movie was going to end. It's really crazy on how she does that all the time.
I would say for this one, I did it too. Like I knew he wasn't dead. I knew Andy Garcia was Ocelot. So at that point, I was looking for you to fill in some blanks. Um, to just answer the questions of why it was so predictable. Um, again, but I wasn't expecting a whole level of intrigue, but just a little bit more than what we got. So yeah, this was a waste. I would definitely not recommend it. I'm not Mulaning it. Again, I don't know that it could ever reach the level of Mulan. But the Statham effect was real and giving it that extra half a bucket. um, Definitely that was all Jason Statham, that extra half a bucket. Um, all right. Well, I guess that does it for this week's episode of the Popcorn Wind Down. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, listen, follow, subscribe, comment anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. Also, keep up to date on the latest in entertainment and pop culture news at thepopcornwinddown.com. That's it. That's the plug. Pop, 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 pop,
Pop,
pop,
pop, pop,
pop.
pop, 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 pop.
And thank you for joining. And thank you as always. Be sure to join us next week when we review one of our favorites, season 2 of The Uncanny Counter. I can't wait to see if it how it holds up and how it compares with season 1. It is rare that K dramas get a second season, so let's see what this one does. And it is currently streaming on Netflix for those of you who want to watch it ahead of time. Until then, I think that's it. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy. Bye.
Peace.